Grand opening, grand closing.
Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. It's your only friend, these YouTube streets, Puerto77, back with another video. Hey, so we got two pieces of news that just came out. First, we'll start with Doom. So apparently the next Doom is called Doom the Dark Ages with a medieval theme. But here's the kicker. It is being confirmed. I ain't gonna say confirmed, but it's being, Jordan's Court is saying, and many others so far saying, that it is an actual day one multi-plat on PlayStation, and that it's going to be announced at this June's showcase. Now that's significant. Not so much that it's a day one multi-plat, because I think most people were guessing. I ain't gonna say most people were guessing. I said that, maybe a few others, that there's going to eventually be day one multiplats from Xbox. I even said, I asked one time which will come first, day one multiplats on PlayStation from Xbox or day and date on, PlayStation first party on PC. Looks like we already know the answer to that. But the thing that's really a kicker is supposedly this will be announced at the June showcase. Now, Microsoft's having their June showcase for Xbox PC Game Pass. But if they announce this multiplat and they actually mention PlayStation, let's put it this way. I already told you guys that Microsoft's going all in. It's going to be the whole slate, right? But this fast, this early, it at least will rip the band-aid off the wound. It will finally signal to everybody else to get on board. PlayStation is going to be heavily supported, and that's that. So hopefully all the nonsense and the denial and the cope can finally end. And hopefully they do it with this game, with Doom Dark Ages, all right? I played the last couple of Dooms and stuff like that. It's all right. We'll see how this one goes. It'll be interesting to see the medieval themes for this game. But it will be very interesting if this official announcement happens at the showcase. Because then at that point, is it really an Xbox showcase? Technically, yes, right? But the branding of Xbox as a, how would you say, as a third party brand is just weird, and I think that's probably the main problem everybody has. Like, Microsoft still stuck with the name Xbox, which makes sense. It's an iconic name, right? It's an iconic brand, but the brand it's kind of like, I guess you have to get used to it after a while, because even Sega, seeing Sega, for example, first time seeing Sega put their games on a Nintendo platform was kind of jarring, right? So, but it wasn't this bad, Sega fans pretty much, easily accepted it because Sega had no choice. It is what it is. They bowed out of the console war and stuff like that, just like how Microsoft bowed out of the console war. But yet these fanboys are relentless and stuff. They just don't want to admit it. But I think this might be a good thing, just for the sense that at least it rips the band-aid off the wound. Microsoft really needs to tell its community, just to stop with the nonsense. Stop looking at them as a competitor to PlayStation. Stop thinking that any console or any decision they make is to compete with PlayStation, stuff like that. So hopefully this is the first step into the healing process for these Xbox fanboys. That way they finally realize that Microsoft is transitioning and focusing on just being a games and subscription service provider. That's it. They don't really care about competing with PlayStation on the market share level. If anything, they're going to utilize PlayStation to help utilize PlayStation's market share or dominance in the market share to help grow their user base and monthly active users and stuff. It's about time Xbox gamers and everybody else just accepts that. Now, this next piece of news is going to be really interesting. And this is Black Ops 6, right? So Black Ops 6 is rumored to remain on last gen consoles. And many people have an issue with that. But when you think about it, right? Black Ops is a game that sells a lot of copies every year. Just a lot of copies. But it needs a huge fan base, a huge user base or market share base to do it. And when you look at this gen, right, the 9th gen of console gaming in this gen, there's really only two relevant platforms, and that's PlayStation 5 and PC. Nintendo Switch doesn't have the hardware, even though it has a lot of sales and huge market share. It doesn't really have the hardware of the current, that's close to PS5. And the platform that is close to PS5 Xbox Series platform, right? To some extent, obviously there's the Series S, but no one's really buying it. So it's not really a viable market. So PC and PS5 is not enough of a market for a game like Call of Duty to just completely cut out it, especially with the PlayStation 4. To be honest, PlayStation 4 is probably more relevant than the Xbox Series platform. I would wager PlayStation 4 probably, is a significant contributor to Call of Duty sales over Xbox, right? And then I would imagine that there's probably a significant, a decent amount of people still on Xbox One playing Game Pass. And I think all of that, the PlayStation 4 and how terrible Xbox Series platform has done this gen, and Nintendo just hasn't released an actual console or their handheld, whatever, the portable device with better updated technology. These combinations just makes it where you can't really move on to the current gen platform, at least for a game like Call of Duty. It's just not enough. Xbox Series consoles failed, and Nintendo Switch is just not the hardware to do it, and Switch 2 is not out, right? So there's really nothing to support this game other than PC and PlayStation 5. And that's the impact of having like a failed product such as the Xbox Series platform. It's just a failed product. People ain't buying it. So they got to figure something out, right? So this game, once again, will remain on last gen consoles, and it is what it is. There's nothing else could be done about it, right? Microsoft just didn't do a good job with the current gen, and Nintendo just do their own thing, right? So a game like Black Ops or Call of Duty is, while it's coming to Nintendo, right? And I think that's probably a reason also that it will be on last gen console, because I think they're gonna try to make a Switch version, and Switch is closer to last gen than it definitely is to this gen. Even though I think it's still weaker than the PS4, but at least a last gen version, they'll probably be able to port it. It'll probably be very reduced in graphics and stuff like that. Really reduced, especially if they want it to be 60 frames. But, that's the only way to get it on Switch. So now, Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I can't even say those consoles are holding us back. They will hold the game back from a technological sense. But the thing is, what really held this gen back is just Xbox failure. That's what really held back this gen. No one really wants to buy the console. Last quarter, only about 800,000 consoles were sold, compared to 4.5 million PlayStation 5s. Even Switch was on a downtrend, because Switch is already at this point. In fact, Switch has already been on the market for 7 years. Over 130 million sales. I think maybe almost 140 by this point, right? So, at this point, you're almost running out who you want to sell to, right? But even Switch found a way to sell 1.6 million, double the amount. And this is on his last legs, right? This year's on his last legs. Most likely Switch 2 will come out next year. So that's how bad Xbox doing. Xbox Series console, brand new, I ain't gonna say brand new, but a current generation console backed by Microsoft, for $3 trillion company, can't even beat a Switch that's on its last legs. And it's not like Switch got huge price drops. In fact, I would say the majority of Switch models are more expensive than Xbox Series S. The basic Switch is still $300, which is the same price as, the Series S. And then you have the OLED, which is $350, right? It's only the Switch Lite that's cheaper than the Series S. So it's actually embarrassing that 7-year-old hardware that still cost at its launch price and is on its last legs, because it's on its final year of the gen for the most part, and it's still outselling Xbox. Man, it's just really bad. So I would say, with Black Ops 6, I know it sucks, wish it could move on, but there's just too many combinations of things that prevents this game from moving on. The game, Black Ops heavily relies on large sales, and PC and PlayStation is just not enough. Or at least they perceive for it to be not enough. I would imagine, I would not be surprised, PlayStation 4 is a bigger contributor to Black Ops, or to Call of Duty games than Xbox current gen and even Xbox One combined. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if PS4 is still whipping, Xbox consoles ass in terms of this stuff. So it is what it is. So those are your two pieces of news. Day one multiplat, Doom, The Dark Ages, potentially announced at the June showcase. Would be hilarious. And now Black Ops 6, still on last gen console. Is it going to stay this way for the whole entire gen? That would be crazy. It would be crazy if pretty much the entire gen Call of Duty keeps being released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Whoa, that would be insane. Let me know what you think. Hit up the comment section. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you're here on this channel and this is your first time, subscribe. I run a podcast, 60 Frames No Lag. It's a great podcast. I got a great crew, great channel, great moderators. Just come through every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you come through. Hope you enjoy it. Anyway, I'll see you guys, later on, maybe with another video. Maybe I might do a surprise live this weekend or something. Got an extended weekend. I got time. But who knows? We'll see how it goes. Anyway, your only friend is YouTube Streets PuertoRock77, and I'm out of here. You guys take care. Peace.
Grand opening, grand closing.